What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott. And as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about why it's so damn difficult to get a guy to like you. It's the process, right? Like, why is all this shit so damn difficult? It shouldn't be this hard. And the reason I'm making this video is I read a lot in the comments. I read all of my comments, really. And I see a lot of women tell me that this is too hard, that it shouldn't be this hard. If it's this hard to get a guy, then he doesn't like you, that they rather go lesbian, that they, rather just stay single and alone, and all those kind of things. And I know it's very difficult. But the reason I'm making this video is not only as a dating coach who's looking at it from the outside, who can see everything what's actually going on, right? I see the bigger picture. I see the little mini steps. I'm not in there or in my head or in your head like you are, okay? You're like in your zone. I see it from an external view, and also I've been on both sides. I've been on the side of scarcity, and I've been on the side of abundance, right? Not having anyone to being able to get, a lot of people. And I don't mean that in a bragging way, but you'll see what I mean. And I want to explain that it's very hard in the beginning, and it seems even systematic, the stuff I'm saying. Okay? But I want to tell you, and again, take this from someone who's been on both sides of the fence. It's very hard in the beginning, because you're actually being exposed to doing everything wrong, okay? And it seems so systematic because you're so far away from where you need to be. Here the analogy I like to use, and I used it in my book Manology, is it's like doing a squat. Let's say you've never done a squat before, or it's been years since you've done a squat. Okay, let's say you're dating this guy for several months, years, whatever, and then you broke up, and now you're back on the dating scene, and you're kind of new to it. Okay, if we use the analogy of a squat, let's say you go in there and you're doing a squat, and you think you're doing the squat really, really, really well. Let's say you've been doing the squat for months, 6 months, and then someone comes around and says, you know what? You're actually not doing that squat really well, okay? So with this analogy, that would be a guy and you talking for 6 months and then him coming around and saying, you know what? I actually don't like you, okay? So here's what you would do. You would probably freak out and get in your own head, and you would look up videos on how to do a squat better. You might hire a coach on how to do a squat better. And I'll come around and I will tell you, okay, here's all the things you're doing wrong. And I know, listen, hun, I know that's a lot to take in. That's a lot of stuff to take in, okay? I'm looking at you and I'm like, okay, you have some muscle balances here, your muscle balances there, aka red flags. Your knees are in front of your toes. You're not lifting off the back of your legs. Your breathing pattern's wrong. You're not sticking your chest out. You're not looking up. Your back's not bent. You're not breaking parallel. You're using too much weight. Your form's shit. You have your IT band is weak. That's why your knees going in or coming out. Your feet aren't. Like, I can just keep on naming all these things that are wrong with you, and it's just like holy shit. And that's what a lot of women are kind of experiencing. You're watching, after a guy breaks up with you or a guy pulls away, you hire me or you watch my videos and you see like, oh my god, like a lot of women will watch my 10 red flags video and they'll be like, oh my god, I did all 10 of these things wrong. Or they'll get offended by something I say in a video, like, well, what the hell, it's not my fault, it's his fault. Hey, before we go any further, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of assholes out there, and there's a lot of guys who play women, use them, manipulate them, and things like that. But here's the thing, if it's not that, then maybe it is you. Okay, you have to take some blame for something. A majority of it can be a guy's fault. That's totally fine. But you have to take some blame and some responsibility that a guy doesn't like you. Maybe because of you. Maybe he got, just because a guy shows a lot of interest in the beginning and then pulls away and doesn't like you, doesn't mean he's an asshole. Maybe he got to know you and he realized, you know what? You're not what I wanted. You're not what I thought you were. You're not as fun as I thought you were. And that's really hard to hear, but you have to take some responsibility. Again, attraction is not a choice. If he likes you, he likes you, okay? He can't help that. And again, sometimes there are guys out there who are assholes. A majority of the time, guys use or play women, but there are good guys out there I'll take me for example. There's a lot of times where I'll get very close to a woman, very, very, very close to a woman, and then I'll end up pulling away out of fear of commitment or something like that, and she thinks I let her on or played her. This used to happen to me all the time back in the day. And it's not that. It's, it just wasn't what I thought I wanted. And I think there needs to be better communication on both sides about that. Like, the guy shouldn't just pull away and disappear. He should say, hey, it's not you, it's me, with that bullshit excuse. But then he should actually give a good explanation for it. And, sometimes you shouldn't derail or just, attack the guy for that. So, again, there are assholes out there, and it's hard to decipher the two, but you need to take a little bit of responsibility. And when you watch my videos, you realize, holy shit, I'm doing everything wrong. So when I'm trying to help you correct, going back to the analogy, help you correct your form with the squat, you know what? You're going to have to drop the weight and work. You might not. We might not even use any weight, because we got to work on the basics. We got to work on your form. We might not even do a squat, because we have to work on certain muscle groups to strengthen them, so your knee doesn't go in and out, right? Or we might just do something where you're just doing squats and there's no weight. I'm trying to focus on you sticking your ass out and putting your pressure on the back of your legs and breaking parallel and things like that. Something that you were like, what the hell? I didn't even know this was the problem. And then when you watch my videos, you're like, I did not know that was the problem, or I did not know that I was doing that. And you start to, have an epiphany, and then you start working from there. It's very, very important to build a foundation. And I know it hits your pride and ego a lot, ladies, because it did me too. When you realized you thought you were hot shit, or you had all these things going for you, and then you realize, okay, actually, that's not the case. And you have to go all the way back and start working on your basics. And start from scratch. But let me tell you something. When you have a strong, repetition is the mother of skill. If you focus on repeating over and over and over the foundations and mastering them, you will be amazing when it comes to dating. So yes, right now it's going to be very, very hard and very, very difficult to get a guy to like you, because you're all over the place. You might have some red flags here. You might be attracting the wrong guys, the assholes. It might be the guy, you might have a hard time reading guys who are assholes. You might be rushing into the relationship, doing too much too soon, putting out too early, whatever it is, okay? Not having enough value. It could be 1,000 things. There's things you have to work on, though. So if you're one of those ladies out there who are like, hey, just accept for me, that's not going to work. I'm sorry. And I got in an argument with someone not an argument, I don't really argue with anyone, but debate with someone in the comments not too long ago, and that's fine. It don't bother me at all. I like it. It helps them, it helps me understand where I'm going, how I'm coming off, and what they're actually receiving, and what their input. But she was telling me that someone needs to like her for her. And I'm saying, well, that sounds good on your end, okay? But what if that's not what the guy wants? I use the analogy. That's like Apple putting the iPhone 1 out there and them saying, you know what? We're not going to upgrade the phone ever, okay? You're just going to like the phone the way it is. And if you don't like it, then you're going to, you're that's tough shit, don't buy it, okay? But this is all we're going to put out there. That's the exact same thing. You can't expect a guy, I'm not saying you have to be perfect, because you don't. It's your imperfections that make you who you are, I believe. It's your flaws who make you who you are. And I think sometimes those are the sexiest and best things in a woman. However, it's very important to know what you're giving and what you're taking and what your actual value is. And I'm not saying you have to see your value through a guy's eyes. Like I said when I was talking to that girl online, I told her, you need to better yourself for you, nobody else. If you better your life and you keep on improving and you worry about what you can give instead of what you can take, okay, you're going to naturally become better over time, and guys naturally follow. So always work on yourself for you, but don't expect to put yourself out there and expect guys to flaunt their stuff and come at you, especially if you're one of those women like that girl had that mindset of just accept me for me. sometimes, and this is going to be really harsh to say, but it's the truth. Sometimes your best is not good enough. Sometimes your best is not good enough. And, it really hurts me to say that, but that is reality. Sometimes your best is not good enough. I remember I was talking to this girl 10 years ago, the girl I always bring up in all my damn videos. I tried everything to be with her. Guys, I can't put into words the pain, the suffering, the sleepless nights, the weight I lost, the suicidal thoughts, just how pathetic I was to get this girl's attention and to get this girl's validation. Now, hey, there's no argument. I treated her better than any other man would ever treat her in her lifetime. But sometimes that's not how it comes off, okay? And that's what you need to understand. While it comes off like I'm treating her like a queen, to her, it's like, dude, this guy's annoying. He needs a fucking backbone. He's a little bitch. And that's what I was, okay? So when you're like, you need to accept me for me, or that this is all I have to offer, just know two things. You always have more to offer. You can always better yourself. And two, sometimes what you were offering in the beginning isn't what he's looking for, okay? Like a lot of women say, I treat this guy so well and I'm so good to him. I'm loyal. I'm this. Okay, that's great. And he wants loyalty. And he wants a girl who treats him good. But he doesn't want it with you, okay? There's something you have there. It could be a red flag. It could be 1,000 things. Where he's like, I like what she's giving me, but I don't want it from her. So you need to, and again, don't better yourself for anyone other than yourself. Do this only for you, okay? Nobody else. But when you better yourself and you better your life and you don't seek validation and approval from other people, and you just work on yourself, I'm going to say it again. My dad always said this. If you dig holes, things fall in place. So if you do you work on yourself, and this is why people like me and Hussey say all the time. He just released a video not too long ago about his confidence retreat. I'm plugging him in right here. He should like this. I'm plugging his ass in right here, but giving him free promotion. But like he has this confidence retreat, where he takes you off somewhere and all these kind of things. And well, this is online now, but we focus so much on the confidence. We focus so much on loving yourself, bettering yourself, becoming one, accepting who you are, all these kind of things, because that's what you need to work on. If you work on that, you eliminate red flags, you live a happier life, and guys naturally tend to be drawn towards that, okay? So wrapping this all up, it's hard because it seems systematic because maybe you're just not where you need to be yet. You thought you were, and again, it's a hit to your pride and ego, I know. And then a guy plays you, uses you, or he was really close and he liked you, and then you did something wrong and he pulls away, and you realize, well, shit, I'm not where I thought I was. So you go online, you look at my stuff, and you realize, oh shit, I'm really not where I thought I was. And then you hear all these things over and over, and you're like, okay, this is too hard. Again, it's not, and it seems systematic, but over time, if you focus on bettering yourself, watching these videos and improving and taking these concepts and using them, you will get a better gist and feel for what you need to do, and it will start to feel second nature. And once that happens, you are going to draw better men, live a better lifestyle, be more happy, be more loving, be more accepting, and not have to seek a guy's approval like everyone else does, okay? Again, don't ever seek a guy's approval. Don't ever look for his validations. He's shit. He's just a guy. Focus on you, bettering yourself, and then guys will follow, okay? With that being said, ladies, I love you. Take care, and peace.